for 3 episodes, bro. We were good.
I mean, something I will say, especially in regards to the war arc here, what we're doing in this case is, I almost feel like I'm getting deja vu with this conversation, but in this case, I say is.
And so another one of those where after the first episode, when you watch it, you're like, okay, I'm in. If the first episode doesn't get you for my anime, it's not the right one for you. But if the first episode gets you, that first episode at the end has you like, okay, I'm in. I want to see this.
Like the only anime I've watched where I broke that rule was Jujutsu Kaisen, because
ironically the worst anime.
Everyone's gassing it up. I'm like, I will just keep watching. Eventually, I liked enough characters that I was like, I'll just keep watching. But it did not. At first, I stopped. I stopped for several months because it didn't pass my 1 episode test. I said, if I'm not hooked on the first episode, I don't really want to watch it. I kind of reluctantly watched Jujutsu Kaisen until I had seen so much that I just was by default invested because I had watched so much.
Here's the part that I'll say that'll get me all of the hate. I'm not the biggest Jujutsu Kaisen fan. First time I tried to watch through it, I also had to stop. And the only reason why I've come back to it at all, to even agree to it, because one of my friends loves it, is because of Rab So Petty. Shout out to Rab and his Hood Jujutsu Kaisen dub overs. It's so funny. It cuts out the slower pacing that is always the issue for me. And it tells the whole story. Like, I've seen the Shibuya arc. I've seen the Hidden Inventory arc. And while the character names are the same, while he changes the terminology and the verbiage, you also get the same vibe and the same tropes, but in a way that makes it far more palatable, and it's also condensed. Well, it's like an abridged version. Abridged JJK Hood version, I've watched it repeatedly a couple of times where I couldn't get through half of the first season because it was just dragging too much for me. But I was like, I see where the story is going. I need us to get there like 2 episodes from now. And now, and certain parts are cool. The highlights are good. Like watching Gojo do his thing versus Jogo, hilarious. It's funny as hell to watch. But damn it, I needed that like 3 episodes quicker than it got there. All right. It took a little bit of time for him to get there to doing this thing. Like, we know he's the man. We saw you already be saucy. I need you to see you fully sauce up on somebody and fully flex. And then I need that ball to keep rolling. I need us to keep rolling this ball. But it's one of those where they roll it up the hill and then it drops and goes quick. And then they slowly roll it back up the hill. And I'm like, I ain't got time. I ain't got the time to sit here for this. I'll wait till somebody abridges it. And Hood Jujutsu Kaisen, if you've never seen it, the clips alone are funny enough to watch because they make Gojo be somebody who's highly, highly ignorant, but in the best way of him being a rich, super talented person. So for him, his flex is that he's richer than everybody else. And anybody who ever says they'll go band for band with him is like they just called him every bad word in the world because he doesn't speak broke. He don't understand brokey.
God, I have like a million different points I want to make, and the problem is they're all